Okay, guys, so I asked you guys the other day ago, I guess 2 days ago, according to this, should Bushiroad advertise Divine Z to the West commercially? Well, and by that I mean better, like commercialize it more. The first thing I want to, the first answer I got from that, which is got to go to W Slasher, says they actually advertise a lot online if you haven't noticed. My anime list, for instance, is always filled with Bushiroad product ads. When a new set for Weiss comes out or when a new season of Vanguard premieres. Facebook also shows some Weiss or Vanguard ads during those times as well. And to this, I do say, yeah, but also AdSense kind of will target specific ads to specific people. I'm thinking of broadening the range, not too much per se, but I do notice that if I'm into a game and I go into certain sites, I will tend to see ads for, Vanguard and Vanguard and Weiss and all that. However, I also reply. I mostly use YouTube, and I've only ever seen their ads on their YouTube channel, so it got me curious. So what I mean by that is I've only ever seen ads on their videos specifically, meaning like I'm watching the anime and then I see Cardfight Vanguard or Future Card Buddy Fight. I will never let that die, okay? Mark my words. And then White Schwartz, of course. And then whatever new game they may be affiliated with. I did not know they were affiliated with Shadowverse Evolve. That actually surprised me, but that's a story for another. That's a video for another time. Anywho, like I was saying though, so I am mostly talking more along the lines of advertisements in like the regular sphere, like with YouTube and stuff, like how I got Battle Spirit Saga ads off of YouTube. I'm thinking more along the lines of those. Now, you would think because I'm subscribed, or at the very least, I watch Vanguard sometimes, that I'd start getting Vanguard ads during sometimes. I don't know, like just, at any time. Even if it was by mistake or whatever, you think the algorithm would push them to me. But I don't, and that leads me to at least think that they are not really putting any money into ads for the West. Now, some other people did bring up some good points that I'm going to go over here in just a second. Let's switch to Reddit. So here I ask under my username, should Bushiroad advertise to the West more? And then I go into further discussion. With the addition of a new anime, new trial decks, and more hype for the game, it would be a perfect time to advertise. Should they? Why or why not? Now we have a resounding 300 votes for yes, 23 votes for no, and then 46 saying depends ? Now, I can't really say what the depends is per se, but that's why I don't know why I did that. My brain's still coming back from work. Anyway, the no's have lost all hope, says Axel Zero, and I say, I'm really curious who is actually voting no now. Okay. Azriel SIU says they should distribute to the West faster. It's not a problem of advertising. And to this, I say this is a really good point. Now, this guy got really ratioed badly at the beginning, but I really do believe he had a good point. I didn't think about it like that, where we are actually a few days or a few months behind of the Japanese releases. This does actually impact a lot more of their sales for the Western side of the gaming sphere. Now, if they were to even that out, then I'd say it would probably do a lot better here in the West. But because they don't, it does leave a lot more to be desired. Anyway, continuing on. They need to start universal releases. Being 3 months behind Japan is wild. Okay, basically same thing. See, Shinator says, there's only so much advertising you can do without improving the final product. Vanguard is relatively unprofitable for stores, and the past few years have seen a lot of flops. Sets D2, 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, and all lyrical sets all collab sets, all English exclusive products, Messiah deck set. Apparently, these have all flopped. Now, do your own research on that, I guess. I haven't really done any research, so I'm not going to confirm yes or no, but I do think it's not out of the possibility that they're not doing as well as their Japanese counterparts, and it's this 3-month delay that is probably the bigger culprit. However, there is more to it than just that. I respond with, this is probably the most reasonable explanation so far. Now, continuing, that were likely all losses for most stores and vendors that invested. Yeah. On top of this, our releases are so delayed compared to the anime in Japan that it really kills hype for the player base. And this is another thing. Take the Stone Ocean anime with Netflix. They freaking delayed that jazz to the sun and back, and it just killed hype entirely. If you're not doing it weekly, if you're not keeping things up to date, if you're making players and people wait for your product for too long, it is going to kill hype. And I do have to say I am kind of proof of that. Those of you who have been with me a long time know that this channel was all about the Dear Days release and me critiquing what they were doing with it. And then I kind of just stopped having interest. And I don't really have an excuse for that. I just kind of lost interest in Vanguard because, well, I don't have a shop nearby that plays it. So, Bushiroad, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Apparently there's just a lot of just things in the back end that just really don't make it easy for fans here in the West to get cards and stuff. The only thing we can do is get them offline, and even then, that is assuming we have a place to play them and with people who will play the game. The card shops I go to, no one really wants to play it. The people in my family and friends and relatives or whatever, they don't want to play it either. So I am literally alone. I have Dear Days and I'm just alone, and it's sad. It's just sad, okay? Anyway, where was I with this? Bushiroad also has just awful tournament support and has done nothing to encourage stores that have dropped the game to try it out again. This I have to really stress. Yes. I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree with this. I did have one shop, now that I think about it. There was one shop, it was like, I don't even know, like it was back in the Link Joker era. They had maybe a handful of people who played Vanguard, and then what, maybe a year or two later when I came back to the game because, I had personal stuff that was going on, no one played it anymore. They didn't sell it anymore. It was just gone. And it hurts. It is freaking frustrating. I did see Vanguard in a Walmart when I was like freaking 15 or something, 16. I don't know. It was like a really old set, and I was just surprised Walmart even had it. It was like a Walmart far away from where I live. And so I freaking got it. I got a couple of triple rares out of it. It was a really fun experience. But if you guys aren't giving us a reason to get the game going, then you're not going to get any more sales. Like, you might as well, and forbid, do not get any ideas when I say this, you might as well drop English altogether if you aren't even going to try to get things going. Now, please do not take what I say out of context. Do not say I'm like wanting you guys to drop it, because if you do, I will be so mad. But you get the idea. We need more support here in the West, and it just isn't cutting it. Like, when I was playing the Digimon TCG online simulator, I'm gonna make a video on it later, but point is, I mentioned Vanguard and how Digimon kind of gives me a little bit of Vanguard vibes with basically the security drive check, essentially, or damage check. And the dude's like, "Wait, you play Vanguard?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah." And he's like, "I've never really got into Vanguard because it was too complicated." I'm like, "Well, go download Dear Days." And it feels good that I can finally say something like that. I have a freaking somewhere to send people who are curious about Vanguard, who can get into Vanguard. But for goodness sake, you guys need to freaking be on top of this jazz. It took us freaking 10 years. 10 years, people, for an English simulator to teach people how to play the damn game. And it's not even the original game. But I digress. Kind of got on a tangent there, but I digress. Also, another thing I wanted to point out with the tournament thing, when I went to the Battle Spirit Saga tournament in like spring of earlier this year, yeah, like they were expecting, I think like over 1,000 people, only 500 people, if even that, showed up. So let that just explain itself. Advertising doesn't fix these things. Improving the overall product does. Advertising is less effective when the product itself will leave a lot of potential customers unsatisfied. And this is essentially what I was trying to get to, but I just put it in too simple terms. What I should have said was, should Bushiroad put more support to the West? And the answer is yes. And I mean, advertisement aside, yeah, I do think advertisement would help get more people noticing the game, but unless the game actually works, no one's going to play it. So I have to give it to Shyanator. Just all on you, dude. Okay. Bad Slime says, can't attract players to the game they don't know exists. And so I reply with, so yes, they need more ads? And then Bad Slide replies, not just ads, but presence in the US, making it easier for shops to get sanctioned would go a long way too. Okay, we're starting to see a pattern, aren't we, people? Like it's not just one or two people, it is quite a few of us who are feeling this. And I just hope Bushiroad will actually take the hint. Seriously, like if you know someone who knows someone who knows someone who works at Bushiroad in the high up, please send them this video. Please send them this video. They need to see this. A game shop in my local area wanted to get sanctioned and get official product, but noped out once they learned that in the West, Bushy Games have one exclusive vendor. They would lose more money by carrying Vanguard because they didn't carry other Bushy games, and that there was only one vendor. It's crazy. And this is what I was getting to. I did not know this was a thing, and if this is not a thing, well, someone correct me in the comments. This would explain a lot as to why I don't see Vanguard anywhere. This is not good. This is really, really not good. And the other comments from here are just kind of meh responses, but I think this kind of gets the idea. And overall, should Bushiroad advertise to the West more? The answer, it really is depends. A lot of people agree yes, but like Shyanator and the other one said, they need better marketing. Not marketing, but they need better, like, ways to get their products into the US. They need to destroy this freaking 3-month gap. I mean, I understand the 3-month gap is probably to make sure the English release doesn't have any, like, bugs in it or anything, and I can respect that, but they gotta at least try to narrow it down, at least work towards it, because this is not going well. The same thing goes with the anime and just everything in between. It's not good. It's not really working too well. And, this is why I wanted to get this out first, or get this out as soon as possible, because Bushiroad is finally starting to implement some things. If we have to make them put Divine Z on pause just for a little while before they actually get everything set up in order to implement some kind of changes that could end up getting the West more into Vanguard, I would be all for it. However, it doesn't look like that might be the case, but if it does, then, well, we'll see, I guess. I really don't know how to end this video, because it's like, it feels kind of blackpilling, but my goodness, dudes, my boys, my gals, my freaking people, this is something I am still passionate about. I still really like Vanguard. I still love Vanguard with a passion, but I can't play the game if I can't get the game. And I would rather, support my LGSs and show them that we do want Vanguard more. But until that eventually happens, we're just going to have to stick with Deer Days, and that's all we get. But I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, please hit like. Please share this video around. Please send this to a Bushiroad representative if you know one. Don't harass them. Just just please kindly say, please think about this. Bring this up to a meeting or something. And with that, we'll end it there. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later. Please subscribe. All right, bye.